Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Ricksgate and Gaming. Tonight we are doing the Crane dossiers. Now we are short a single investigator who is currently working undercover, and but we will be joined by Cameron and Michael, who will be reprising their roles as Nathaniel Hadley and Robert Shepard. Now, last game, these characters or this trio of investigators were set to work by a woman known as Mother, who set them looking for their boss, Al Crane, who in turn was looking for another woman, Vicky, who was essentially a lounge singer. They had tracked Vicky to a small coffin shop where she had made her residence for some time and discovered that she had also been in contact with a fellow by the name of Ivan Lunt, who was a mid-level corporate functionary who apparently had played upon her desire to be a more successful star and had extracted some sort of favors out of her. Some of the messages between them, if you recall, were very intimate. And
like she had taken something from him in the end.
Right, but by the end, you discovered that she had taken advantage of the situation and had stolen something for him, and the messages have become much more hostile. Now, you guys have actually met this fellow, correct?
No, but he does look real punchable.
Yeah. No, you actually had met this fellow. He had Cook had actually met him. Ellis Cook had actually met him while he was outside. He was looking for her, but his description was that they were in a relationship of some sort, and that he was worried about her. The words on the message, however, suggested that perhaps he was less worried about her and perhaps more worried about what she had or what she had taken from him.
Yeah.
Okay. So we pick it up from there. Now you've received these messages from Ivan, and you also found the monorail ticket, which was supposed to be exchanged today, but was still here in the coffin shop and missing. Also, a variety of contact information for clubs around the bazaar where Vicky apparently had sung. Okay? So that's where we left off.
Right. So we had sort of a history, like we basically have a history of where she's been.
You have, yes.
Are there any sort of like repeating patterns in that? Like, did she go to one club every like fourth night or whatever?
So the clubs that she sang at tended to be sort of jazzy, speakeasy type of clubs. There is one called The Back Door, which apparently she sang or performed at repeatedly. A common knowledge check will tell you which one that is. If either of you know that.
I have common knowledge. Let's see what we can do. I got a 5.
Okay. How about yourself, Michael?
Sorry, I'm not. Let me find my stuff here. D6.
Yeah. So you're gonna want to roll the one that says what's your common knowledge?
D6.
Right. So you're gonna want to roll the one that says SD6. Yes. There we go. So 3. Okay, Nathaniel, you've heard of the back door. It is called that because the front door is actually a ground level restaurant. The back door actually leads down into a basement of your stereotypical cyberpunk jazz cafe. Smoky, variety of different types of music, experimental drinks, all that kind of good
stuff. Hawkins and his robot jazz band.
Yes, exactly. But you know where it is, and apparently she's popular at that place because she's obviously made several visits to it over the last couple of months.
All right. Well, that seems like it would be a good lead to finding her. Did we find any more info on Ivan Luntz? Because he seems like he's probably on a similar trail, and we probably don't want to adversarially cross paths with him until we know what the hell's going on.
Okay. One of you had sent your your digital assistant out to do research. I can't remember which one of you it was.
I don't believe.
I don't believe it
Mine
was
has research.
mine, because I don't think mine had research. I think that was Andrew.
Yeah. Okay. So Ellis, by the way, while you're searching through this place, he comes in with his wings and he goes, "Hey, listen, I got a call from something I got to deal with. I'll be back in a few. Catch me up on anything you find, and I'll be there if I can.
All right.
I'll forward any information that that Siri sends to me." Or did he call it Madge?
I don't think it was Siri.
Yeah. What I do know is that he gave it a really hostile personality. So, all right. So yeah. So with that, generally, just for game wise, you to know. Generally with NPCs, if somebody is not at the game, I generally don't NPC them. I don't like rolling their skills. I don't like fumbling for them. I don't like getting them killed in combat. So generally, I'll write you out for a session in order to continue play. So in this particular case, as Ellis is otherwise engaged, he will be unavailable for the session, as will his skills. He did start something last game with the research. When that completes, I will have him forward as much research as he gets to you, but that is the last you'll see of Ellis until he rejoins you in the game. Is that cool?
Sounds good.
All right. So where do you head? To the back door or back to Mother's or where?
Yeah, I think probably the back door, but if we can get there in sort of a surreptitious way.
Okay. Most of the bazaar is a crosshatch of twisting corridors and narrow streets. Vehicles, etc., have difficulty actually traversing this area. With the back door, it's an alley between two fairly large sets of cinder block buildings. Out back you have like the lamps hanging overhead with with the sparking light and power cables networking everywhere. It's your traditional deep city back alley.
Yeah.
Okay. If you arrive there, what you will know is that the alley itself is relatively occupied by people who are wanting to go in and out of the back door, but there's also other places here that at the same time are selling electronics and food, and it's just at nighttime when the music is playing in this sort of this back alley where the back door is, it's just a busy kind of place. Now, that said, one of you is a detective, one of you is a former corporate operative. You know how to spot people who are surveilling or observing or whatever.
Yeah.
So that means that your characters could, if you wanted to, actually, observe yourself and see whether or not anybody is here, watching.
Yeah, so make sure, like, I guess, go there and check that we don't have a tail.
Okay.
Sounds
good.
If we don't mind, I don't mean to be particularly slow here, but can we just review a few things here?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we are coming here to find this woman who had contact with our boss Crane. And so we're here to find her so that by finding her, hopefully we get more information on where he went. Right?
Correct.
Yeah, because Crane went looking for her when she went missing. So she's our best lead to find Crane. She frequented the back door, so we're going. I thought so. We go there, we find out if anyone knows her better or has seen Crane there, because that would either give us a lead on one or the other of them.
Now, when we were at the sleep place, we had the CCTV footage, I think.
Yep.
And did we review that for? for when
You downloaded it, but you had a significant quantity of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Right,
was
and
what. Can't remember Andrew's character's name now.
Ellis
That
Cole.
was what his Geist was reviewing and researching for us.
Okay.
Correct.
And we also turned the cameras off for while we were there because we made. I perhaps am using the royal we here, but a scene was made.
Okay, so you and I are going into. Are we already in here, or whatever? And we're just looking for this person again.
Yeah, or people who knew her, or people who have seen Crane.
Okay.
And also not being in the place where we just flashed, where I just flashed a gun at the dude.
Right. So what's your strategy here?
So my strategy is, basically go to the club, hang out, see if she's like scheduled there or has been there recently. Basically, we go there claiming we heard about this great singer that they've got, and try and hit up people for information.
Okay.
Or see if the proprietor there is a bit more knowledgeable on the whole sitch.
Okay. Anything specific you want to do? You're gonna want to do here, like talk to?
The proprietor, basically see who's there, because that's...
Okay, I'll follow your lead.
All right. So when you arrive, do you take a time to scope out the front, or do you just head right in?
I'd take the time to scope it out. I'd rather not rush in blind if possible.
Okay.
Where's your sense of adventure?
I know,
Yeah.
I'm acting way out of character, but I've got all these notice skills.
All right. And you said you're following his lead, Michael?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a decision.
So what we're going to do then is, if you're taking the time to scope it out, I'm going to assume that he's helping you. At that point, what we will do is you will both roll notice. His notice will be aid to your notice.
Okay. Does he roll first or do I?
He does. Michael, you roll first. Michael, do either of you have anything that would help your notice? Any type of cyberware or edges?
I think I do. Alert. I have edges alertness.
Okay, so you'll add +2 to whatever you're doing. Just for future reference, Michael, it would probably be better if you're actually the person doing the scoping, because you're more alert than he is.
Okay.
Okay.
So, where am I here? Okay. So you want me to just do the regular D6?
Yeah, roll your notice, and we'll add 2 to whatever your total is.
Oh, my notice is D4 plus 2.
Okay.
So just do D4?
Yep.
SD4, not...
SD4.
Did it work?
It did. So 2 plus 2 is 4, so you get +1 to your roll there.
Hooray! And just before we start the game, I believe I have 3 bennies because I have luck. I used 2 last game, so 1 comes back.
Your bennies will restart, so you'll reset, so you'll actually have 4 bennies. Michael, you'll have 2 or 3 bennies as well. Okay?
Sweet.
You know what bennies are?
Yes.
Yes?
It's
Okay.
coming back. It's all coming back to me.
I know, we haven't played for a while. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully we'll be able to get into a more regular swing here.
All
Okay,
right.
so go ahead and make your roll there.
Notice time. What do we got? 6 total.
Okay. This is what you do. These are the kind of things that you spend a lot of time doing. You guys move up to a food cart, drop a few cryptos, and get yourself some more street food, which after the chicken wings and everything else you've eaten on the street today, you're probably a little bit full of.
Just kind of like you got the noodles and you're just like moving them to your mouth and back.
Yeah, exactly. What it does allow you to do, though, is you notice a couple of things. First off, the back door seems to be relatively busy tonight. There is no lineup, but there is, you can hear the crowd inside as well as the music piping up from inside. Secondly, there is a milling crowd outside, but there is one fellow that stands out to you. He's leaned up against a data term, which is an old sort of large public computer terminal, and he's casually checking his electronic devices. But you notice that he seems to be relatively disinterested in the device and is spending more time sort of watching the door, watching the comers and goers, and occasionally taking photos, capturing images.
Uh-huh.
Your cut of him says a corporate street operator of some sort. Not necessarily a true professional, but definitely with those kind of corporate edge runner skills.
Sorry, what was Ivan again? He was some sort of like mid-level corporate drone.
That is correct, yes. He is a middle manager for Microtech.
Right. So this to me sounds like the kind of guy that he could hire.
Yes, this would be within his price range.
Like this sounds like a classic flunky.
Yes.
But
He's attempting to blend in, but your 6 defeated his blend ability.
But would he be aware of us? Like, does he know who we are?
Okay, so your ability to remain unobserved is a function of stealth. So I was about to ask you to both roll stealth, and then I will roll his observe.
Right. So in my as a function of stealth, if I were to trip and knock into him and try to bump one of his devices out of his hands and switch it with a different device,
I would say, yeah, I'll give you 20 as a difficulty.
I'm gonna not do that. Just hit the button and watch the numbers roll up. All right. Well, let's try and be stealth mode.
Okay, do it.
Ah! Yeah.
So one of you is definitely stealthier than the other. Are you going to stick with that roll, Michael? Or do you want to Benny it? How important is it that you remain hidden from this fella?
I don't think it matters.
Okay,
We're not.
fair enough.
We're not trying to. This guy's looking for her as well, right?
You think so, yes. Well, the message you got, you kind of get the impression she stole something from him.
Yeah. Well, if she was here, I think that he would already be gone or he'd be inside or whatever. He's looking for her. But the other thing is the other side aware of our endeavors? You said we met before, right?
Yes. Ellis Cole actually saw this guy, saw the fellow who Mother had described outside of the U-Sleep, and endeavored to meet him accidentally, which he did, and then engaged him in conversation. So,
Okay, that was Ellis Cole.
yes.
But was it
that
me
wasn't
or...
you guys. No,
No, it wasn't.
Nathaniel. Correct.
So, I don't think he'll even, know who we
No,
are.
what I'm going to do here is I'm going to roll to see whether or not he notices you guys observing the place. Now, he's already busy doing his own observations, so this is my difficulty that I'm going to give him. I'm adding +2 to both of your stealths for his capacity to notice you. Okay? And then it's just him noticing you watching the place. Right?
Yeah.
So, same as you're doing with him. So, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. You see him. He does not see you.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's too distracted by a particularly good version of like Super Pong or whatever he's got on his phone.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of crowd going by, and you guys are from the street, and he's not.
Yeah. So
Okay.
he sticks out a bit once you notice.
So, yeah. So what we'll do is we will say this. The bar is definitely under observation by a corporate flunky of some sort.
Yeah.
He doesn't look particularly skilled, but okay.
All right.
Good.
I have a thought and I have an idea. I hmm.
You want to kidnap somebody? Is that what I'm saying?
No.
Lay it on the table.
So my thought was we could at least throw him off or shake him up by just like kind of going up to him unobserved, just standing on either side of him, put a hand on his shoulder, and be like, "It's already gone. Leave."
I think that we're just gonna cause more problems if we try to do anything with this guy. I think we just go inside, go about our business, and if it becomes an issue, we'll deal with it then.
All right.
Like, calm down, let's just go inside.
But he's bad at his job.
Okay, so are you a good persuader?
I'm decent persuader. I'm a better intimidator.
Like, I'm a D6 persuader.
So am I.
Okay. Here's my thought. Let's go to the bar, pull up a holographic picture of the girl, say to the bartender, "Have you seen this girl?"
All right.
I think we do. I think we ask for the name, not for like a picture. The picture gets us noticed more easily by other people. I'd like to fly under the radar until I know exactly where.
Okay.
Wait. Hold on. You want to fly under the radar, Mister? Let's go up to this guy and talk to him. I just want to confirm. Can you define radar to me? Because I think maybe you and I have a different concept of what radar is.
So no, I can't. And this is a pivoting decision. This is not a like a blanket statement. This is a for now.
Man, he's all over the place.
Really, Cameron, all over the place? Come on now.
All right. I've never been anywhere but all over the place.
All right, so this is what happens. You guys head inside the bar. There is a small charge, a couple of cryptos, which you drop, and then you head inside.
Should we be tracking these?
If you want to, yep.
I pointed at him. He's paying for me.
Great.
Yeah. So yes, you need to. What'll happen is starting the next game, you guys will actually pay an upkeep, which will actually pay for minor fees like this, and then everything else is just spending cash. Okay. You guys, okay. So you head inside. You head down the stairs. You actually enter in, and the first thing you see is a kitchen, and then there's a little side door that leads down into the basement, where this place has been vastly renovated. Your augmented reality sort of kicks in. The club offers a variety of sensory choices. For example, you can have your augmented reality turn on romantic lighting, or it can offer you the menu so you can interact with the menu and have the server come to you if you don't want to go to them. It can also, your augmented reality will also allow you to turn down the music and turn up conversations. Like it allows you to do all of those kind of things.
That seems handy.
Yeah, exactly. So as you kind of step in, you choose the default settings, which are, for a jazz bar, everything's manual. Okay. The bar is over to the right hand or over to the left hand side, set of tables, and then up front is your typical jazz bar. Small podium in the middle, sort of a surrounding bandstand. There is no dance floor. Instead, what you have are people sitting at tables, talking quietly, sipping expensive drinks, and listening to people who, you know, if you're a jazz lover, you understand it, and if you're not, you're just like, hey, noise. Okay. As you arrive at the bar, a woman in her early 30s, attractive, is handing over a couple of drinks, a couple of martinis to a fellow who looks to be a corporate fellow dressed down. You can tell by his haircut, right? You know, the clothing says street, but street chic. right?
Yeah.
The hair, however, says corporate boardroom.
He's
They
rocking
kinda-
the derelict look.
Yeah. So he kind of pushes past you, kind of push past him into the bar, where the woman looks at you. Her glance kind of does the same thing that you just did to the guy before you, and her smile turns from kind of the hey corporate flunky spending money to the oh hey you're one of us. Yeah, what can I get you?
A couple of mediumly expensive drinks and a table.
She looks around. She says, "Well, you have to fend for yourself for the table." Although,
I give her like 4 crypto bucks for the table.
no, what it
Or-
is
or-
first come first serve for the tables.
So it's just they don't have like a seating thing.
No,
Okay.
no. But when she turns to you though, she says, she kind of leans forward, and her voice is cast in such a way that you hear it fairly clearly. She says, although with fairness, I think the two of you could probably take any table in the place. So
All right. Well, let's.
Did we establish what you guys drink? Like, what do you drink? Are you a beer guy, wine guy,
Whiskey.
Philly drink, whiskey? Okay.
On the rocks.
I'm gonna pull rank as now a resident Vancouverite and go like local craft beers.
You don't drink though.
I know, but I live here now, so.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So the drinks cost a couple of euro or a couple of crypto as well. She hands them to you. It's fairly mechanical. Now's your chance if you want to say something else to her.
Oh.
I'm back.
And you're back.
I was going to say, how many people roughly are in here?
You would guess seating capacity is probably around 60 or 70. You'd guess maybe 100 people are packed in here.
That's a lot of people.
It is.
Actually, I'll ask her, and in a bit of a quieter tone, slipping her 5 crypto bucks, in whatever fashion that takes. Do you know if Vicky is playing tonight? Is singing tonight?
Yeah, so she looks at you and she says, you know Vicky? She looks maybe a little bit, she says, no, I haven't seen her in almost a week or so.
Oh, that's very disappointing.
Yeah. I know she has a crash pad upstairs above the restaurant.
Another one. Above, what is above the restaurant? Do we know?
Yeah, so the restaurant itself is, so you have the basement, which is this bar, then you have the restaurant, which is the first floor. And then above that, it's what are known as residential offices. So it's places where people live and or work. The floors are separated, but they're both in the building. Yeah, so she says, yeah, she doesn't stay there all the time, but I know late nights, rather than catching the tube someplace else, she'll catch one of the apartments upstairs. You can talk to yeah, there, and she kind of points to a guy. She says, "Yeah, Reggie's over there. You can talk to him. He books the acts, and it's him that arranges it if somebody needs to stay overnight."
Great. Thanks.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go find a table near Reggie.
And before she goes, so you're just about to turn, and her hand grabs your. You're not with the other guy, are you?
No, one of his assholes up front though.
All right. Yeah, because there's a moment where she looks like, oh shit, am I talking to the wrong people here?
Yeah.
Like she has that moment of panic. Is that the right word? Fear.
Yeah, just like the oops moment.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's like.
Do we look like we work for that other guy?
No, I just gonna let her know that one of his assholes up front.
Okay. Okay, so you do so, and so she then heads upstairs, or then you find Reggie. Now Reggie is kind of what you would expect a Reggie to be, I guess.
I need to make enough lap for a dog to lay on, otherwise he can't lay there.
I see. You're kind of like the leader of Spectre. Yes, my precious dog. All right. So, so he points to Reggie. Reggie is a man in his early 50s. Neat hair, a jacket which is like 1,000 colors. And he's flanked by two beefy-looking women. Bodyguards. Yeah. Okay. So, what do you do?
Reggie seems like a guy who would probably know the ins and outs of business more than anyone else, or at least more than anyone else around here. I'm gonna go up. Is he like sitting at a table? Is he standing?
He's sitting at a table. The table he has is sort of a catbird's table. It's in a corner. It's a little bit raised. It's probably a VIP table. Although he's sitting at it alone, with these two women kind of flanking entrances to the booth.
Okay. So I'm gonna go up to the booth and be like if I'm not stopped, be like, "Hey Reggie, you got time to talk? I want to talk."
Yeah. So as you approach, one of the women, as you approach her, her makeup is like this black streak across her eyes, and as you get closer, you can see she's like dark skinned, not necessarily like African, but sort of like a coffee color, and her skin is actually interlaced with fibers of plastic, muscle replacement. Okay.
Kind of person that could throw you through a wall.
Right, and on top of that, she's this muscle replacement just sort of covers her body, but she's wearing next to nothing, right? So it's almost a little bit, almost too science fiction.
Uncanny Valley area.
Yeah. She kind of puts up her hand, and she turns to Reggie, and he looks at you, not recognizing who you are. He says, company for the evening. I can give you 5 minutes, but I have much business to do tonight. Please, sit.
I sit down and I say...
I sit with him.
Right. Okay. Do you have time to talk about Vicky in a hushed voice?
Oh, well, if you find that bitch, let me know, because she's missed 2 shows. I can't hold the stage for her. She's wonderful, but no one's that wonderful. If you get my meaning,
I hear you. I suppose you already know about Ivan. One of his chungus is scoping the place out front, looking for her as well.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to say, Michael, you're sort of standing in the back and observing him. You're not actually involved in the conversation. I'm actually going to allow you to make a notice check.
That's a D4 plus 2, I think. Or that's alertness.
I believe so. Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's good thing I had plus 2.
4. That's twice for you, buddy. Yeah, so you watch him. With Vicky, something flashes across his face. At first, you think it's nervousness or something, but then you actually think it might actually be real concern. Right? Then it kind of disappears, and he covers it up with a bit of laissez-faire, as it were. It's like, okay. Vicky, well, you tell that bitch I can't hold the stage.
What? Can you go over again why our boss was talking to Vicky again?
Absolutely. So, your boss is good friends with Mother, who runs Mother's bar. Okay, they are lovers, and they have been for a number of years. Okay, Mother Vicky was actually sang at her bar, and after a conversation, she was supposed to do a show. She never showed for it. And so she asked your boss to actually, it's like, hey, listen, I'm worried about this girl. She's not from the city. She's new on the street, and I'm worried she's gotten herself into some trouble.
Okay. Do people know Mother? Like, does she have street cred?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Uh, I go and I say, listen, Mother actually sent us. We she also is concerned about, is it Vicky?
Yeah.
Yes.
She's also concerned about Vicky, and one of our associates who went looking for Vicky is also missing. Could you help us out? We would like to check out her, maybe her room upstairs, and see if we can find out some information.
Who's your associate?
Do people know Crane?
Oh yeah. He's sort of the flat-foot of the bazaar for about the last 20 years or so.
Does he have a good reputation or a bad reputation?
He kind of has the reputation of being a sucker for a good cause, right? Kind of like a dying breed of, you know. But at the same time, a lot of his jobs, like, because he's taken on jobs, like he looks for he's a finder of things, right? But he's also taken.
I guess what I'm saying is, would he be someone that it's good to his recognition is as somebody who gonna cause trouble for this guy, or is it gonna? Do you think he's gonna? Do I know if there's a beef between these two, or?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you wouldn't know that. What you do know is that all things being even, most likely in the bazaar, Al will have a positive relationship.
Yeah.
He's kind of like a gentleman loser.
I'll say we work for, what's the name of our place again?
Leverage.
Crane. Oh, Leverage. Does he know that's Crane's outfit?
Yes.
Yeah. We're associates of Leverage.
Oh, you're some of Crane's boys.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't know you from the street. Maybe when your street cred is higher.
I pull out my street cred.
Yeah. He says, "Why didn't you say so?" He kind of leans in, and as he does so, he presses the privacy monitor on the table. This is a little sort of white noise generator that, if you're close enough to it, it basically sort of blocks out music, but it also has the reverse connotation of actually blocking all sound leaving this kind of cone. It doesn't block it. It kind of it muffles it, right? It changes it. It kind of makes it sort of buzzy. Makes it difficult to overhear or record.
It's like Can Get Smart.
Like Can Get Smart, but not quite as good.
Okay.
Which is strange because with your characters, I do definitely get flashes of Get Smart.
What you believe?
Yeah. Yeah, so he says, I was here 2 days ago. I sent him up to her crash pad. I haven't seen him since. But yeah, I haven't heard from him, and he told me that he was looking for Vicky for Mother.
Yeah. Now we're looking for both of them.
Crane's disappeared?
Yes. Did you give him any information, anything at all, other than just access to the room?
Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told him, that Vicky was a regular. She has it. Like, she has the magic, right? His accent is sort of slightly French, you think? She has the magic, that je ne sais quoi. And I thought she could go real places if she found an agent. I know some guy was sniffing around her, but some sort of corporate connector.
Okay. We show him a picture of the guy. Is this the
Lund?
guy?
Ivan Lund.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's shown the extremely punchable face of Ivan Lund.
Okay. We have a picture, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So we showed this picture. Was it this guy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's him. That's him. He's been around looking as well. Well, not him, but his friends. They said they wouldn't tell me, but I kind of figured.
Yeah, we're
Has she gotten
concerned
herself
that,
into something? Go ahead.
yeah, we're concerned that his motives might be less than what do you say?
Friendly.
Friendly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Here, he pulls up his comm deck and he points at your hailers, and he transfers the code. It's on the 4th floor. You're welcome to look. I don't know if Crane found anything. I gave him 24 hours access, and I haven't seen him since.
So it's 2 days ago. That's the most recent we've.
Yes, absolutely. Crane, you haven't seen Crane for almost 3.5 days. In fact, he was supposed to turn up for jobs yesterday, but he didn't.
Right.
Oh, but this is more recent then.
Yeah, this is our most recent lead on where he's been.
Yes.
Cool.
Great.
Cool. Thanks very much, Rich. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. He says, if you find him or if you find her, let me know. And if you're friends of Crane, you're always welcome here.
All right. I swap contacts with him, put him on my friends list. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
That way, I get his birthday notifications. That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That plus all of his proclivities.
Yeah.
Also, his Instagrams of breakfast and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's right.
And so yeah, I motioned to my friend here
Okay.
to let's go up to the 4th floor.
Let's head up. Yeah,
now.
We want
The guy that was watching outside. He didn't come inside, right?
He did not. No,
Okay.
he didn't even notice you.
Yeah.
Before we leave the general room, do we want to do just a quick sweep, make sure that no one's sort of been watching us, sort of thing? Have we been aware of anyone sort of keeping an eye on us?
Okay, so your characters by nature are guarded in that regards, meaning that you can retroactively say, hey, could we have made a notice check to see if anybody has been watching us? To which I would say the answer is yes, you may have.
Sweet. That seems like a reasonable thing to do.
So I'll do the notice check and you support me again or something like that?
All right, but roll better than 2.
Hey,
go ahead and roll your
plus,
support.
Man.
Go ahead and roll your support roll.
Anything but a 1 is a pass usually, unless there's more difficulty.
Okay, so
Right.
6 plus 1, 7. All right, so you look around through this smoky, dark bar. There are a lot of dark corners here. There's a lot of people sort of milling, coming and going. It's not really a place where professional operatives would hang out, right? This is definitely more of a low-level corporate place, okay? But that said, nobody really stands out to you as being particularly interested in you or anybody else. They're just here to enjoy the music.
Good.
Or to be seen.
Another quick question.
Yep.
When we were coming in, does our tech or our sprites or whatever have the ability to record what we see and that kind of thing?
No. First off, unless you have cyber eyes, you do not have a camera in your eyes, right?
Okay.
It's an overlay of the local area. It can't actually record it.
Well, again, retroactively.
Yes.
When we came in, when we noticed that guy watching the front, I think we would have used, whatever the futurist version of a phone camera is, just to take a quick picture of him to note, in case we see that guy again, and as evidence and that kind of stuff.
Okay. Sure.
Anyways, so let's head up.
All right. In order to get up, you need to leave, then head around to the front of the building for where the elevators are. This is an old, cramped elevator. It's more like kind of getting into an oversized phone booth than an actual elevator itself. It says capacity is 10 people, although they're going to be the 10 smallest people you've ever met in order to fit in this elevator. It closes and then whisks you briskly up to the 4th floor, where you see what appears to be a variety of small apartment doors. They're relatively close together, probably denoting that the apartments are not going to be particularly large. And from here, the muffling, the soundproofing, although the building itself is retro, the soundproofing is not. Basically, as you open the door, you open into the silence of this upper hallway. It gives you sort of the feeling of downgraded Art Deco, but you can tell that it's actually relatively fashionable, for the bazaar at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
1 second, I'm just going to close my window.
All right then.
So there's nobody in this place, right?
As you enter the hallway, you don't see anybody in the hallway. This is a simple T hallway, so it goes straight ahead and to the left and to the right. You see doorways along all axes.
And
So we have the code for her.
it's not run down or anything like that?
No, it gives you the impression of being purposely distressed. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like jeans that have like pre-torn jeans.
Correct. Yes. So it's looks to be newly painted, but they painted it in such a way as to look like it's run down. Right. It's probably the easiest way to say it.
Okay, we head to her door.
Okay. The door again. So go ahead.
Do we notice any signs of forced entry at the door like that?
You don't. Actually, hold on. So when you arrive at the door, first off, the door is an Art Deco door. It looks to be wood, but you recognize it as some sort of polymer. So it's probably going to be relatively secure. As you sort of bring up the code for the bypass kit, do either of you have thievery?
Yeah.
No.
Yes. D4.
Okay, what? D4. Go ahead and make your thievery check, please.
Wow!
Holy moly!
Oh, okay. So you're just about to press the code in when you recognize that some of the seal around the outer edge has been broken. And like sort of just testing the panel, you recognize that someone has actually gone in and bypassed this lock.
Okay. Now, if Crane came here and he talked to Reg, I'm assuming he wouldn't have had to done that either because he would have the code.
Correct.
So he wouldn't have to bypass anything. So that means someone else did it. All right. Well, that's information. I don't think we can do anything. Let's just maybe.
Well, let's look around if there are cameras. Like if there are cameras in the hallway here.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are no obvious cameras.
All right.
Well, there might be a way to, if it's part of the building system, maybe once we get inside the apartment, we can try to hack the system, as so to speak, for the building.
Sure. Okay.
Right. But I let. I don't remember what your character's name
Nathaniel?
is.
Nate.
Nate. I let Nate know about the
bypass
previous
menus?
bypass use, and we're not expecting anyone in there, but just in case, I think we should open the door and maybe just do the whole peek around the corner thing first. Just
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna then have my pistol sort of in my hand at my side.
Okay. Sounds good. You push the door, so you enter in the code. As you do so, there's actually a hesitation on the lock, but then it snaps open. The door slides open. So when you press the key, the door sort of unhinges, and you can kind of push it open. It does push open. It doesn't slide. And as you push it open, you see inside what appears to be your basic bachelor apartment. Okay? So there is a small cubicle for a lavatory off to the side. There is a larger cubicle, which is the kitchen, but then apart from that, it's all one room. Okay? There is a bed off to the side, which obviously folds up into the wall normally, but it is down. And the first thing you notice is that this place has been tossed. Okay, someone has been here and they have ripped this place apart. That's the first thing you notice. The second thing you notice is that there is along the wall on the far side a window which leads out, looks to be to a fire escape, and right underneath the window there is a splash of blood. Okay.
Okay.
As you step in, you actually kick a round metallic object across the room, and you recognize it as a shell casing.
All right. So there's been some excitement in here.
Do we have the capability of analyzing evidence?
To what end? Like fingerprints and stuff like that?
Sure, fingerprints, blood, DNA. I don't know.
I believe I gave you back at your apartment an analyzer. Let me just verify that. Yeah, no, you don't. It would require specialty tools, which you do not have.
Okay. Do we have the tools to take like samples of it?
Okay, so let's pause here. You're standing in the hallway, doors open, room's been tossed. What do you do?
I'm going to go in quietly and do a sweep of the whole place to see if anyone is still here or if there are any traps, like making sure that I'm not going to trip over a tripwire or trigger something that's...
I will cover the door while he does that.
All right, sounds good. So so you're taking out your gun? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I had my gun kind of at the ready.
No, I'm asking Michael. He says he's covering the door.
Yeah, I mean, I have my hand on it.
Okay. Let's do, go ahead and make a notice check, Cameron.
All right.
Well, that's a lot of dice.
Yeet. 10.
10, nice.
Oh, wait.
All
No,
right.
5. 5. It rolled it twice for me for some reason.
Okay.
First roll was 5.
Okay, so 5. So as you step inside, I'm going to say you notice it, but you notice it too late. Okay? Someone has, beside the door, mounted a wireless laser tripwire.
Ah.
Okay?
It's like the future or something.
Dang.
Yes. There is no resulting explosion, but you guess someone left it here, probably to see if anybody else entered the place.
Now, is this something I could Benny? Like, is a 6 noticing it in time?
Right. So, okay. Normally what would happen would be you would tell me, you would say what you got, and you would say whether or not you're happy with it. Okay? So I didn't ask you if you were happy with it, although generally I won't. Okay? In this case, if you are unhappy with that result, I will offer you this one-time offer of re-rolling with a Benny, should you choose, or to add +1, should you choose.
I will use it to add +1 because I don't think re-rolling is statistically likely to do me better.
All right. So, mathematically, what you needed was a 4 better allows you to notice it. A raise allows you to notice it in time. Okay? So, that is not an 8. So, therefore, you do definitely notice it. However, by the time you've noticed it, you have tripped it.
Well, that's fair.
Okay? Now, it doesn't appear to be. It does not appear to be attached to anything external to the actual sensor itself. So you would think that whatever is going to happen already has, and there has been no resulting, fusillade of fire, or explosion, or anything like that.
All right,
Boring.
I'm gonna grab the sensor and see if I can take it apart. And
All right.
um,
Okay.
I have some electronics stuff. Might be able
Sure.
to see
Okay, so I'm going to
where
pause you
it's
right
centered
there. So
somewhere.
you've stepped in, you see the sensor. You've obviously tripped it.
Yep.
You are still have the doorway open, and you're
Okay.
standing in the hall.
I'm gonna swear under my breath to let Nathaniel know, and let
Shepard.
Shepard know that. Well, there's
Fine.
the element of surprise, but and then continue my sort of sweep of the inside, keeping an eye out for any
All
more
right.
of those.
All right. So you do a quick sweep. There is no one else in here. And for yourself, this place has been torn apart. If you don't it. First off, whoever searched it was unprofessional. Okay.
Yeah.
So after the sweep is complete, do you stay in the hallway or do you head inside, Michael?
I head inside and I close the door.
All right. You close the door.
Can I put the? Is there like a lock so that we're not interrupted?
There is a secure mode, which means that when somebody's inside, the door will not unlock to an external pressure unless somebody from inside unlocks it.
There's no like old school physical lock or like that.
There is not. The building, although it is designed to look old-fashioned, is not in fact old-fashioned.
Okay. I just don't want anyone who's to stumble in while we're in here. So yeah, I'll do whatever I can
Okay.
to.
So you put private mode on. The door is now locked. It cannot be unlocked from the outside.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to take a look at this tripwire sensor.
Okay. So you pulled off the wall. It
Yeah.
appears to have been stuck here with a little bit of sticky. So,
Yeah.
yeah. The sticky, by the way, is still sticky. It's not set. So you guess it hasn't been here more than 24 to 36 hours.
Huh. That is interesting. So we're on a bit of a clock now. I would keep an eye out. I'm gonna let Shepard know. Keep an eye out on the fire escape in case whoever received this tripwire signal decides they want to be surprising.
So you find yourselves, okay, so you're both inside. You've privacy sealed the door. You begin tearing this thing apart. You can go ahead and make an electronics roll for that. What do you do, Michael?
Well, I'm going to look for the building access for networks and see if I can get into the building's
Sounds good.
security systems.
So that you can, with a hacking check, you can actually look at the network. Go for it. Do you have any bonuses to your hacking?
I do. I think I got a re-roll or something like
Okay.
that. Hacking. I had it printed off web sheet, but then I cleaned up my desk and now it's gone.
It's the same place my
D6.
campaign book is.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
All right. Yeah, so you easily identify. Now, this building, although, like I said, it's built to look retrograde and to look like it fits sort of in the bazaar, you do notice that it has a fairly decent firewall. There is a network access node here, meaning that if you broke through the firewall, you'd be able to actually access the network. Where the actual core is somewhere down in the not in the ground floor, but on the first floor. So if you want a direct access, you'd have to go there.
What's the benefit of going in direct access?
Direct access, you don't have to bypass the firewall.
Well, I feel like that might draw too much attention, really.
Okay.
I want to try to break from here, man.
All right. So the difference is when you go through the network hub and go through the firewall, this is basically a handshake that's secure so that foreign computers can connect to the network and access the data necessary. If you want to get root level access, what you need to do is you need to kill that firewall. So the core network access generally is harder to physically get to, but it gives you much more powerful access. The firewall access is harder to get into, but it's easier to get to the physical location of. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, you can
I'll
absolutely
chance
do
it.
that from here.
Yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna chance it.
Sounds good?
Right. Do I have
So
to
the
make another hacking roll?
Yeah, so that will be you've correctly identified it. You are not able to get any specifics on it, so you'll get no bonuses on this roll, but you will now attempt to bypass the firewall.
The taxmanship.
That wouldn't be the roll that I had already.
No, that roll actually allows you to actually recognize where you can get in.
Okay, so this is another hacking roll.
It is.
Okay.
Hey!
Exactly the same. All right. The firewall here is a commercial grade firewall. Your deck allows you to. Well, let's put it this way. Your deck basically allows you to temporarily overwhelm it with responses. This causes it to stop checking security very temporarily. Okay. When you get beyond, you now imagine if you've walked into the top floor of an elevator. You check the sort of the list. There are building services, camera security. Like there is a number of things in here. What are you looking for?
I want to look up the dates when the door was accessed, and if there's a video feed, then I want just the clips from those times when the door was accessed in the last 2 or 3 days.
All right, sounds good. So you go after the information. The security system continues to reset. As it does so, since you have no extra actions, you're going to go after the data. The system's going to reset before you have accessed all the data that you need. Okay, meaning that is going to send out a warning to somebody unless you spend an action actually disabling the network security. That will take time, and eventually, if you fail, that will also be noticed. So, do you just grab the data and run, or do you attempt a more complete takeover of the system?
Well, you're saying that if I just want to get the data, it's not going to be enough time. So,
well, no. So what I'm saying is that if you grab there's not enough time between now and when an alarm goes out to get the data. You can successfully pull the data out with a manipulate. So basically, you have one action. So with this action, you can spend it to further disable the security. You can spend it to actually manipulate the data to pull the data out, or you can. But what's going to happen is if you don't further disable the security, it will send an alarm saying that the data system has been breached and data has been taken.
well,
I don't know if that's.
I want to pull the data out, and I would rather not have a notice of security. Can I do both?
Not with that roll. That roll has enough for one action.
So there's a chance that if I try to beat the security, that I won't get the data. Is that your?
That is correct. If you fail to defeat the security, if you fail to thoroughly defeat the security, it'll reset all of the security, kicking you out and sending an alarm.
But I can get the data, but then there'll be a notification.
Correct.
I don't care about the notification.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can kind of ping Reggie and let him know what happened on our way out.
Okay.
I don't think we even need to tell him. He'll figure it out.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think Reggie owns this place, does he? I think he's not the building manager.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But let them come for me.
All right.
Good.
So basically what you do is you beat the firewall aside, you reach in, you grab 48 hours worth of video imagery from around this hallway apartment and the fire escape on the outside. Okay? With that, the system is reset. Okay? You have a bit of a perplexing message as you are being booted out. Something about third consecutive override within the last 48 hours, comprehensive diagnostics and recalibration of security now initiated, system offline.
So that
good. So
that would indicate that other people have tried to do that. Yes.
Since you haven't tried to do it 3 times, someone obviously is responsible for the other 2.
All right. Well, I got my stuff. Has Nate finished his search of the apartment?
Well, he was actually looking at the electronic device. Okay, so when you look at the electronic device, it's a basic action trigger. What it did was it was connected to a second module inside of the small pen-sized device, which has a transmitter on it. So it has transmitted a remote signal to somebody.
Yeah. So, any way of figuring out where that remote signal went, or?
No, it seems to be on a cellular signal. It's
Okay.
not a very long-range radio, so you're thinking it's probably someplace within half a kilometer.
Okay. Well, any way to repurpose it? Like, set it up to send it somewhere else?
You could take it with you and do so. You'd require a workbench to reprogram
Okay.
it.
Okay.
It is a generic piece of technology, right?
Yeah.
Can it be repurposed? Absolutely. Can it be repurposed in a short, in the 5 minutes that you want to be in the apartment? Probably not.
Great. I'm just going to break it.
Okay. You crush it under your foot.
Hulk smash.
When in doubt, Nate smash.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to do a thorough sweep of the apartment, even though it's been trashed, just to see if there's anything missed and that we notice out of the ordinary.
All right.
Collect evidence like the blood and
Shepard, can you tell me again what Alexa's skills are? I think they were hacking D6, and what was the other one?
you know what? I think I wrote it on that piece of paper, and
Arcturus was what?
Now, let's see if I actually did the smart thing and wrote it down in notebook that I have. I do not. I think he had 3d4 skills.
Okay. Persuasion, research, hacking, science, and notice.
I think he had persuasion, science. What was the other?
Hacking and notice. And research.
Persuasion, science, and notice. All at D4.
Okay.
Okay.
And Arcturus?
You notice?
No.
Or no, sorry. I have Arcturus and Alexa.
I think I had originally given Alexa notice, but I think that was probably not a good idea. I should have gave Alexa a research or something.
Okay, so we'll just say research D4. It's now locked in stone. So you can send Alexa off to actually begin analyzing the video information.
Alexa, analyze information.
Of course. Working now, Shepard. Okay, and okay, she begins working. Now, question for you: are you asking her for anything in particular?
Analyze access to this apartment. Show clips of,
Okay.
who accesses it, and dates and times, and
No problemo.
like I said.
Okay,
Do you guys
now
still see my picture?
I can see you looking jollily off into the distance, but you are frozen.
Okay. Yeah. I built a new computer, and I think Skype is not liking it very much.
Dun dun dun. So you need to sort that out before we play again.
This is what I picture when everybody finds, whenever all the groups converging looking for what's her face show up in the same spot.
Yeah. Then there's a gunfight. Okay.
Vicky.
Yeah. All right. So where we pick up then is you're going to continue to search the room anyhow. I'm just going to draw a quick card here for encounters.
Hooray!
I'm going to draw them on the right. Okay.
Is it visible what you draw?
Yep, I will show it to you.
Yeah. Sweet. Ah!
I got a king.
You didn't get a king, I did.
It's
So
under
that's
my
the
name.
encounter card.
You
That's
got a king, which means we all got a king.
You all, yeah. So that's the encounter card. Okay. So let's make your notice rolls, and then we'll go to the encounter.
Okay. Whatcha? Not as good. No.
So 5 altogether, Michael? Yes?
Yeah, because it's then you have to add the +2 or
Right.
+2, right?
All right. So you tear this place apart. Well, you don't tear it apart. You begin observing.
We looked through it already being torn apart.
That's correct. As you do so, you kind of move some stuff aside. Whoever was here, they were not professionals, but they were thorough. Okay? When you say you were looking for stuff, specifically, I assume you were probably looking for clues or something along that line. What you find here, there are a pair of shell casings by the front door, and then there's a larger, like a 10 millimeter shell casing by the window.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you know that Crane, he had an old Militech 10 millimeter gun. So it's a relatively not unusual. It's a relatively rare round.
Yeah, so that's a good clue that he was the guy by the window, took a shot.
Yes.
And
Do we have Crane's blood on file?
You would, yes. Okay.
Oh yeah, you said we don't have a device to analyze it on site.
That is correct.
We'll take a quick sample just in case,
Okay.
for later.
That said, those kind of services would be readily available to on the street. Like there's a place where you could go on the street to actually get that information.
Is there a blood detection kiosk in the street?
No, but what happens is there's a do-it-yourself medical clinic which happens to have a blood analyzer in it, right?
Okay.
So
God, the sharing economy has finally gone too far. So, I think let's follow the blood, as it were, because it's going out the fire escape.
all right.
Let's see if we can't try and maybe retrace Crane's steps here, because short of anything else, we know someone knows we're here.
Okay. Oh, fair enough. You head out onto the fire escape. This is not like fire escapes that you think about in New York City. This is a well-built metal escapeway, as well as it actually has like rubber folding down chutes and all of those kind of good things. It's a modern convenience. Okay. As you step out onto it, you realize that what you're looking at is the scene of somebody who's been clipped pretty badly by a bullet.
Okay.
Blood, sticky, still sticky, but then again, it's humid in Vancouver. Lies in several locations here, and you can see it leading on the steps downwards.
All right. Well, let's follow it as far as it's visible and see if we can figure out where the nearest, like, I've been shot, what do I do place is.
Okay.
Is that something that we can ask like our geists for, or check like, hey Google, where is the nearest like bullet fixing?
Yeah, absolutely. If you have, okay, so bullet fixing, you're going to look for a medical clinic here in the
Yeah,
bazaar?
like
Okay.
somewhere that you could go like, I've been shot. Please don't ask too many questions as you're removing the bullet from me.
Right. Okay, I'm going to give you a common knowledge because both of you are from the street.
All right. Common knowledge, not my strongest suit. That's not bad.
5. How about yourself, Michael?
What am I rolling?
Common knowledge.
Common knowledge.
D6.
Nice.
7. All right, so Shepard, you actually know that there is a former dock wagon employee who set up a small shop not that far from here. You know it because the reason it comes to mind is because Shepard actually introduced you to this guy.
Crane.
Crane, right. Crane actually introduced you to this guy. So you're thinking, well, since Crane knew about it, is the closest place that you can think of. Okay. As you trail down the stairs and you get to the bottom, there is a sliding sliding ladder that allows you down. What occurs though is the ladder is not down, but at the bottom of where the ladder would descend to, there is a relatively large dark stain in the detritus of the alleyway below. Someone was obviously hit pretty badly here. Okay, and you can see that there's a blood trail that actually leads away.
All right.
Now, are you both descending the stairwell?
Yes, I think we're kind of like if it's like the zigzag stairs, I think
Yes.
we're gonna go like one person like goes down the stairs, the other person is at the landing above, like watching with the gun, and next then they follow down the stairs. So there's always one person kind of.
So you are 4 floors above. What happens is when you descend to the ground floor, which is again still 1 story above, or the first floor, which is still 1 story above the ground floor, and you can see the stain. I'm going to say Shepard is just coming down that final flight when suddenly you hear a commotion above you.
All right, now it's time to start moving faster. Let's see if we can get away before we're like get into out of line of sight before they can get themselves to the window.
Yeah, so the commotion you hear is on the fire escape, not inside of the apartment.
Oh, good. So it's it's above us on the fire escape, yeah?
That's correct. But again, these fire escapes aren't sort of that lattice work, so you can hear somebody racing down the stairs, boots upon the metal stairs above
Can we
you.
tell if it's one person, 2 people?
If you want to pause to make a notice check, right now you've just heard a sound.
All right,
Let's just go. Let's keep going.
All right, let's book it and see if we can.
Okay, so you hit the automated ladder extension, which begins lowering the ladder.
Let's hit the automated ladder and see if we can't be around the corner, ready to catch someone off guard as they come around it. Like set up a.
Okay, so you don't want to actually descend the ladder.
No, because then they've got the upper. Then they've got the high ground on us. That usually goes poorly.
How about you, Shepard?
We just get out of here, man. Are we in an alleyway?
You are in an alleyway. The main street lies perhaps 20 meters away from you. You can see cars going back and forth, people, etc.
Is there anything in the alleyway that could be used as cover if necessary?
Yep, there are several automated garbage bins, recycling bins, etc.
Let's just book it out of here, man.
I have an idea because I'm overconfident. If you drop down the ladder, I don't know if they know how many of us there are. They just know that something happened. If they think there's only one of us, because only one person came last time, if you go down the ladder, book it into the alley, I can creep back up, and while they're distracted looking at you, apply the bullets to them.
Is there a soft pile of garbage underneath here where I can just push them and off the...
Well, let's find out, shall we?
Is this like the, hey, can I see your phone for a sec?
Yeah. I'd be like, yeah, that's a good idea.
There is.
All right, I give him a yeah, it's a good idea, shove.
I'm totally gonna go with this. It's like,
All right, so below you, you can see what appears to be some cardboard boxes, etc., that have been laid out. They look relatively soft, and we're just going to make a quick vigor check here to up. Actually, make it athletics. A quick athletics check to upend your fellow investigator off of the stairwell. Yeah, that's a good idea. Push.
It's not gonna go well. Oh well, maybe.
All right, that's all you need. Single success. He's already leaning into you, going, "Yeah, okay, I'll lead." Hi. Okay.
I'm not actually. I don't want to make a roll to resist this because I think it's really funny.
All right. So I think it's funny too. So Michael, I'm going to give you an extra Benny. You drop suddenly. The ground shifts out from underneath you. You bend backwards over the railing, and I'm going to need a vigor check for the landing.
You got a 5.
Okay, that's a not botch. So
good. I don't want to wait for the ladder. I'll just hop out over the edge and land beside him.
All right. So you land on your back, and you flatten these cardboard boxes underneath you. You, on the other hand, jump, making an athletics check.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Nice.
And doing a quick duck and roll. Okay. Yeah. So you guys roll off of the garbage on the alleyway below, and now do you book it for the back alley back towards where the entrance to the back door was, or do you head out to the street? The blood trail.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
We see the blood trail going.
The blood trail leads deeper into the alley towards the back door.
Oh, really?
You would guess if Crane was shot, he'd probably not want to make it to the street.
Yeah, let's follow.
Is there cover between here and the back door, the place where we want to go to?
Yes, there is. Yeah, I drew a card. There's tons of cover between here.
Okay. Well, I will. We'll get into some cover, and I don't think if we keep going, they're gonna come for us. But I think we should try to get behind, hide, and to see if they go, where are they, kind of stuff.
Right, sounds good. Okay, go ahead and make your stealth rolls, please, to vanish into the alley.
Stealth mode.
They're going for the street.
Okay, so 4 for you, Cameron.
I'm gonna actually Benny that because I think I can do better than a 4.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Woohoo!
That's better than a 4.
10 and 11. Holy crap!
We blend into the cardboard.
This is my natural environment.
All right.
This is my natural environment.
All right.
I turn into a cardboard box.
The solid snake strategy.
Nice. All right. This is what happens. You guys find yourselves in the alley. Okay, you jump over. You land with a clatter, and then basically you sticking underneath some of the outcrops and awnings. You find yourselves basically concealed. One of you is behind a utility box, which actually has a nook in it, making it like a perfect spot. And the other one finds themselves behind basically a row of garbage cans. Okay. Do you have your weapons out?
Sure.
Okay. You are in a spot where from here you can actually observe these two guys descending the ladder. They climb down the ladder. They sort of sliding down the edges and then scan the alley. And they both say at the same time, "Fuck. How the fuck did you lose him? How did I lose him? What do you mean, how did I lose him? You were watching the goddamn window." It's like, it's because your fat ass trying to get down that goddamn ladder. How slow do you have to be coming down a fire escape? Like, where did these guys go? I don't know. Who the fuck were they? I don't know. They definitely weren't part of Archer's team. That's all I can say. It's like, fuck, if Archer finds us, we are dead men. We have to find that bitch and get the cube back before...
Oh, I love
Okay.
this. I love everything about this.
They tuck these compact sort of weapons that they had pulled out back into their coats, and then they disappear down the. They actually head towards the street.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna wait till they get to the street and are gone before I get up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then after they're gone, I will indicate to Nate that we should head towards where
All of the blood.
the blood goes, wherever.
Yeah. Oh boy, player 3 has entered the game.
Okay. So you follow the blood trail. Okay, so the blood trail leads off in a direction generally towards where the dock wagon fellow holds his clinic. You think you could probably, you lose it quickly in the alley.
Yeah.
After you get out of sort of the less traveled areas and into more heavily traveled areas, especially where the rain can touch it, suddenly the trail disappears, right? Do you stick around trying to track, or do you take a guess and actually just head for the dock wagon?
We have the dock wagon.
I'm gonna say dock wagon because I don't have any great skills relating to tracking, and I think this makes sense for where someone would go.
All right. You skip ahead about 5 blocks. As you do so, you arrive at a small, nondescript building in a back alley. Like, everything in the bazaar is in a back alley. You can see out front the green cross, which represents medical services here. Okay, and you kind of push through the door, glass door. A narrow set of stairs leads up. These are those old sort of bluish green stairs that have that faux marbled look. Heavy metal rails. There's also there's casters on both sides, allowing stretchers or something heavy to actually be carried up. Disconcertingly, this place is filled with all forms of spare cigarette stubs and old cans as you walk up to the second floor. There, on one side, occupying what used to be, maybe an accountant's office or something like that, there is, this neon green sign with and a heavy door. Okay, what do you do? Okay, you pound heavily on the door, and beside you, a screen opens up, like a panel opens up, and a screen underneath it presents a tired-looking middle-aged woman. Her hair is tied back severely, and through a tinny speaker, she says, "What do you need?"
Is this the person that Al introduced us to, or have we?
No.
She's not someone we met before?
You have not.
Okay. What was the guy's name?
Ryan.
We're looking for Ryan. Is he in?
Yeah, who are you exactly?
Friends of Al.
Yeah, hold on a second. Okay. You sort of loiter in the hallway for a couple of minutes, and then the door slides open. Ryan is heavy set. You'd guess 230, 240. He's covered in scrubs. The scrubs themselves look like they have old blood stains on them. They look like they've been washed, but the stains just didn't come out. And he has the blue gloves, all of that kind of stuff. He hasn't been drawn from surgery, but you think probably he was treating a patient. He kind of opens the door. As he does so, the other thing as well is sort of back on his hip, almost on his ass, you see a heavy pistol. Because that's just the kind of medical show it is. Okay.
Scalpel, blood bucket, priest, next patient.
He pulls his mask. He doesn't have a mask. He says, "You're friends of Al Crane?"
Yeah, he introduced us a while back.
Yeah, not ringing any bells.
Can you show a picture?
You no. He knows Al. He doesn't know you.
I thought you said Al introduced us to him.
Yep.
Oh, but he doesn't recognize us?
Nope. Are you here to get Al?
Yes.
All right. He kind of checks the hallway. Come on in. You know you were shot, right?
Yeah, that's how we knew to come here.
Did you, do you know who shot him?
No.
No,
Nope.
we know possibly one of, like, either someone named Archer in charge or maybe Ivan Lunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
He looks at you like, yeah, I don't care. Come on back this way. Yeah, whoever got him good. I pulled 3 bullets out of his torso. I've had to rebuild his pancreas. Took another one to the lung, and in fairness, if I didn't owe Al a favor, he'd be dead right now. He'd be spare parts.
yikes. So he's recovering then, is he?
Yeah, come on in, I'll show you. So he takes you to a small room. This room looks like it used to be like maybe somebody's office or something like that, but a heavy medical bed sits in here. A 2-generation old AutoMed, which is sort of the thing that provides medicine and all those kind of things, pumps through him. And you see laying on the bed, Al. He is unconscious.
Okay, well,
Why wouldn't Al have some sort of benefits plan or something like that to get him, to take him to?
No.
No. Okay. Do we have access to a corporate doctor who can get him
No.
better service?
You officially are waste.
yeah, like this guy's probably a better doctor than we could ever afford.
So he's unconscious, but he's alive.
Yes. So he says, listen, we can wake him up, but with the growth meds in him, he's going to be in a shit ton of pain. He's not going to be able to see straight.
Can we? Do you have his effects?
Yep. Well, what's left of them. So he leaves the room for a moment. So you kind of stand looking at him. His face is gray. He's obviously, lost a lot of blood. You can see that the blood replacements are being pushed into him, and there's some sort of, enzyme treatment working on his body. You've seen people critically wounded before, and that's what this guy is.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what Al is. He comes back. He has a plastic container, and in that plastic container is the remains of there are 2 Ziploc bags with the remains of bloody clothing. At the very bottom, there is Al's vest, which has a couple of neat holes punched right through it. And then there is like his hailer, his gun in the holster, and a variety of like his cigarettes and all that kind of stuff. There's also a device you don't recognize, about the size of a Rubik's cube.
The key.
All right.
All right.
Does the doctor? We asked the doctor. Does he know if Crane will survive? Is he stable?
It's touch and go right now. I'm thinking yes. He's a tough old bastard, right?
Yeah.
How long till you think he will be conscious? Or it could be
The growth meds will be done in about a week.
a
We
week.
could probably wake him up.
If we wake him up,
Okay,
if we wake him
so
up,
he looks at you, and he says, or we can wake him up and he can die. Entirely your call if you're next to kin.
No, we're not going to wake him up because that's going to make people mad at us, and also he's our boss. It's good to know he's alive.
Yeah. Why don't? I'm assuming it's safe to leave him here. That it's very. What do you call it?
Are you asking or are you asking me?
I'm gonna ask you.
All right. So, in asking me, my dog is barking at my daughter, who's trying to come in through the front door and doesn't have a key. So when you asking me, this is an underworld medical chop shop. Okay, so this doctor obviously has some relationship with Crane. Who knows for what? And you would think that he'll at least he's obviously taken the best medical care he can of him. Despite the fact that you don't think Crane probably carried along a briefcase of money to pay for it. So do you think that he's safe here? Well, someone's hunting him. They obviously almost succeeded at killing him. Can this place be found? Well, you found it, but you knew to look for him here because you are who you are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What it does tell you, though, is that, he does have this cube thing, and it's only so long before they start looking for known associates, before they identify whoever Al was, and start looking for his known associates, which will bring them to your door.
Right. So we gotta probably take the cube because that's going to be dangerous to leave here, and we should figure out what the hell it is. We should get a message to Mother to know that he's safe, but she might be, she should up her security if people are looking for this thing, depending on what the whole plot is here. Whew.
Well, we should definitely we'll take the cube, let Mother know where he is, and we'll go take it, and we'll try to get this. Like, we don't know what the cube is, so we need to get it analyzed of some sort.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Sounds good. So what does that mean exactly?
Do we have the facilities to run some sort of, or do we have contacts that can, maybe trusted contacts we can use to analyze this mysterious object?
Well, okay, so your contacts specifically are Bruce Harkness, who is a police detective, and Omar, who's a street data broker.
Yeah.
Right? Nate, your contacts are a parts and vehicle dealer, Simon Barbarossa.
Yeah.
And Eve Markham, who is a corporate black broker. You've sold pay data to him?
Yeah.
Maybe, but you don't think he has the... Like, if he knew what it was, he probably has the ability to market it. The question is...
What is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So the person who can answer what is it is Vicky.
Well, okay. But can we check?
Maybe.
Can we check with her?
She might have just stole something she thought was valuable.
Can we? Yeah, we have no idea where. We still have no idea where Vicky is. Right.
None.
But
some clue. But bear in mind, some clue. There is probably more information you don't have inside of his hailer.
Yes. So we should probably take that to see what his last sort of communications were.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll take everything.
So as you reach into the box to take stuff out, he says, "Oh, hold on now. Yeah, I don't know you from Adam. Who are you exactly?"
I give him my name, Nathaniel Hadley. We work for Crane. Mother sent us to look for him when he went missing.
Sounds like a persuade roll.
Ha ha! Jam.
Can I help him with this persuade roll? I don't know.
So what we're moving into is a social conflict. Okay, what happens is you guys have 3 rounds to generate successes, and then you can't say the same thing over and over again. You need to give me 3 convincing arguments. So the first argument is, hey, we work for this guy and we know Mother.
Yeah.
Great, make a persuasion check.
5.
So that is 1 success.
Oh, did we answer the question? Can he help, or is this?
So what'll happen is these will be individual rolls.
I mean,
So
I'd be like,
yeah.
look, here's a picture of me and Crane at the company barbecue.
Okay, great. Okay, so proving that you knew Crane. Okay, so there is a second success. What's the last argument that you use?
I'm going to try and refresh his memory of when Crane introduced us to him. It's like, you're Dr. Ryan.
Okay.
Crane introduced you to us as his old buddy. It was on, this day it was raining.
Sounds good.
Because it's always
Sounds like a
raining.
persuasion roll. So 3 total successes over 3 rolls. Okay. So he looks at you and he's like, yeah, okay. The streets are what they are. Crane doesn't really trust anybody, and you know that as well as I do. Yeah. Listen, I'll let you take one thing. The rest I'm going to lock up, though, until he wakes up.
Okay.
We'll take a scalar.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, the Hailer is going to give us more information. The cube is, I'd probably better left here.
You can get killed with a cube in your thing.
Yeah. So what he does is he takes it, he puts it back into the box, and and removes it from the room. So you take the Hailer.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, before we leave, we're gonna say, obviously we don't have to tell you this, but there may be others less friendly looking for Crane, so you might want to beef up security.
Right. What I'll tell you before you say that is your common knowledge of the street probably tells this guy that whoever shot him might be around to finish the job. So he's probably cognizant of that already.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. So
But yeah, you give him another warning and he takes it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We now have a clue.
Do we have any information come back from us from our research being done?
Okay. So, I need to make a quick roll here. Ooh, look at that.
Oh,
there we go.
Oh, fucking shit.
Yeah, that seems good. What's my total here?
1, 2,
4.
16, 17.
According to this, it tells me that my roll was 4.
Which is weird.
Yep. Good math.
That's a 17, sir.
17. All right. So, Siri, who was digging up information on Ivan Lund, returns with a dossier. Okay.
Oh.
From LinkedIn 10.0.
Oh, man.
Where he shared all of his personal information. All right. So.
Oh, gotta love the corporate LinkedIn.
Oh, yeah. So Ivan is. He is.
Punch him.
Yeah. He is a corporate fixer. Okay. And as a corporate fixer, you basically get where he works, where he lives, how to contact him, his past history. He's basically been a corporate fixer for Microtech pretty much for his entire career. Okay. You also get that he, went to one academy in Japan and one academy in England. He comes from a wealthy corporate family, apparently, and his resume is very replete with all of his successes as a corporate stooge. Okay?
Oh, man.
What's interesting is, so what I will tell you, though, is your knowledge tells you that the more you say about what you do and how good you are, generally the lower on the totem pole you are.
Yeah,
right?
like this is a guy who's hoping to make it big somewhere, but hasn't.
That's right. He's a corporate climber.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you have all the information you could possibly want on this guy, including sort of his resource level. You guess that, from where he is, he probably doesn't have a tremendous amount of access to Microtech security forces. He might have like a bodyguard or two that work with him, but he's not high up on the list.
Yeah, like
Okay.
like hired guns would probably not be something in his affordability wheelhouse.
Well, it depends on the quality. You would.
Yeah.
But, better than you, like, the wolf? No. Okay? That's the first thing. The second thing is you manage from your... Alexa manages to compile a set of videos. Now, video in this day and age, today, is actually recorded by bit change. So... that means videos are actually quite small, and I can only imagine that compression technology will get better in the future. Okay, so what occurs is you do manage to get some very decent high-res graphics from the cameras, the security camera, which is activated inside of the apartment when the lock was broken, the hall camera, and the fire escape cameras. Okay. And what do they tell you? Well, they tell you that 3 days ago, Vicky and Crane were at the apartment. Okay. Crane and she talked at length. There's no sound.
Yeah.
Okay. No, you wouldn't see inside during that time because the security system wasn't activated. So you'd only see the hallway cameras. So you see Vicky and Crane enter the apartment. Crane leaves perhaps an hour later, and they talk briefly in the hallway, and then he goes. He returns about 4 or 5 hours later, and he returns the next day. He seems to be in a bit of a hurry. When he arrives at the door, he waits at the door, then he pounds on the door, and then the door opens. You can briefly see her, and then he kind of pushes her inside and closes the door behind him. And it's moments later that a trio of goons appear at the door. Okay, you can see them with some sort of anti-locking device. They seem to work the lock momentarily. There's a bit of a glow around the box, and then the door slides open. One of the guys from the hallway picture is immediately punched backwards across the hallway, and then they kind of burst into the room. At this point, the security cameras in the room kick in, and you can see that there's only one person inside of the hallway. Or inside of the room, and that one person is, what are you doing with your camera, Michael? Just leave it be. You can see that person is Crane. Okay. However, on the fire escape, already down the stairs on the fire escape is Vicky. You can see sort of a side profile of her just wearing sort of like a dark hoodie and pants. Like she's obviously trying to be nondescript. She's headed down the stairs. She grabs the ladder, and then from there, you can then see sort of this shootout between Shepard and these guys in the hallway. Shepard's hit from a burst of fire from one of these guys.
Crane.
It looks like Crane is hit. Sorry, Crane is hit from a burst of fire from a submachine gun, and then he kind of topples out. You can see he fires a couple of times. The last thing you see though is outside there is as Vicky kind of gets to the bottom of the stairs, there is suddenly a figure sort of emerges from out of the darkness and throws a bag over her head, and she's almost instantly incapacitated and dragged away.
All right, that seems bad.
So that would have happened before your visit to the U-Sleep.
Yes.
Okay. So your characters know instinctively that if you met Ivan at the youth sleep looking for Vicky,
It wasn't him that did this. So this is Archer's team, maybe? Or this is someone else that also knew about the cube. Ivan might actually even, like, Oh, the plot thickens.
you thought the plot would be easy?
No, I've played in your games before, Craig, and also I'm me. I don't make plots easy. 'Cause,
All right. Should we call it a night?
We can call it there. Yeah, that's fine.
that's
All right.
that's a good cliffhanger.
That is a good cliffhanger. Okay, so where we leave it is the characters have recovered video from Vicky's crash pad. This appears to be more of her regular home, etc. The one thing I will tell you as well is the video details several objects, sort of like suitcases or something like that, like bags of possessions in that crash pad above the back door before it was torn apart. Okay. Yeah, I guess you would have caught them also tearing the apartment apart looking for something.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll leave it with you guys at the doctor's office, having decompiled that, got all the information on Ivan Lunt that you could possibly want, and waiting for Ellis to come back from being undercover and ready to interact with you guys again. Okay.
All right.
This has been the Crane dossiers, where the characters have found their missing employer, who has been grievously wounded, and now are attempting to unravel exactly what he was working on, why he was working on it, and what to do next. So we're going to pick that up in our next session, where hopefully we'll have all three investigators. If you've liked this, please like and subscribe, and I hope you join us again next time. We will talk to you soon.